Hi guys, just FPL here, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be talking guys through the Game Week 5 team selection and my Game Week 4 results, my Game Week 5 transfer plans, and looking ahead on my watch list, and a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. So this is how I scored for Game Week 4. I scored a total of 78 points, which was a really good game week for me, in my opinion. There was a lot of very high scoring results. You know, when Liverpool scored 9 goals, you had City put 4 past Crystal Palace. And let's start you guys off with my Arsenal players. Ramsdale 2 points. It was disappointing to see Arsenal concede that goal against Fulham. Of course, Fulham, their expected goals in that game was quite low, and we fully expected Arsenal to get a clean sheet. But again, Fulham were a top team, and Arsenal made their mistake, and they got punished for that. So Ramsdale, no clean sheet. And then Martinelli 2 points. He was playing well, he was looking lively. So again, I'm not really disappointed despite his ownership is that high. And then Jesus again 1 point. His ownership is just 81%. It's just so high that whatever he does, it doesn't even affect us. So I'm really not that satisfied with my Arsenal players. Of course, Ramsdale, could have expected more from him, at least some save points. But Arsenal, they have just changed their play style from last season. Instead of, Ramsdale making saves, he doesn't really have to do much in the game, and his bonus points, he's not getting much as well. So could be one possibility to sell him, and I will talk more about that in my transfer plans. And then we have Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson and Salah. Okay, Liverpool now 9-0 against Bournemouth. It was just a really crazy game, and to see Salah get nothing out of that game, just the clean sheet point, it was just crazy. We fully expected the bare minimum for Salah to at least get one return, but he ended up with no returns, which was very surprising for a lot of owners. And for me, I just fully expected, Salah 9 goals. We see that 9-0 against Bournemouth. We expected Salah to score massive, but he didn't. But again, Trent and Robertson delivered 17 points from Trent. It just shows how good of an option he is. And I talked about him in my buy, hold, sell, avoid video the last few weeks, and saying to hold on to Trent and Robertson. So really happy that I kept both of them. 17 points and 9 points. They just came back with those returns. Robertson certainly want to look to sell, or could look into more detail with his minutes, because he's getting subbed off quite early on in the game, 69-70 minute mark. So certainly want to look into. And then Cancelo 1 pointer. Look, City conceded 2 at the start of the game, but it just shows how good of a team City is. They can just come back. They're 2-0 down. They're 2-0 down, and it just shows what City are capable of. They are just that good of a team. They can come down from 2-0 against, you could say, arguably a really strong defense, and score 4 goals past them. Haaland got his hat-trick. Really proud, really happy with that. And for those Kane owners, the swing wasn't that much. Kane did score 2, but he did miss his pen. And then we have our Chelsea players, James and Cucurella, 1 assist from each. James and Cucurella, it was a bit disappointing. We expected more from these Chelsea, especially a clean sheet. But when Chelsea went one man down, they had to change. And you could say they had the disadvantage, and it was quite good for them to get away with the win. Cucurella, 1 assist and 90 minutes. He did get full 90, so he did start as well. So really happy with that. And then we had Reece James, who got an assist, 90 minutes, and 2 bonus points. So again, he's getting bonus points. Cucurella, you could say that was a slightly lucky assist, especially with that Sterling goal. It was a good goal, and I will take that assist, and certainly want to look to sell or transfer out in the further game weeks. I'll talk more about that later. And then we have Pascal Gross, a brilliant performance from him. 11 points, he got his goal. Brighton got their win, the clean sheet point, 90 minutes, and maximum bonus points. So really happy with him. He's returned every week, single week, since I bought him in game week 3. So 6 points in game week 4. He got his assist and the big haul in game week 4. So it just shows what he is capable of, and with the great fixtures coming up, certainly more to come. On my bench, Ward 1 point, Andreas Pereira 2-pointer. Okay, it was a tough game and didn't expect much from him. Bailly, he didn't start as expected from me. 1 pointer, and Archer, he got 1 minute in the game, 1 point. So this is my team, and let's look ahead into game week 5. So starting off with game week 5, let's start off with Aaron Ramsdale. He starts for me in goal, and I'll talk about my transfer plans later on, but let's run you through my team first. Ramsdale, Aston Villa at home isn't the easiest fixture, nor the toughest fixture, and certainly one that I could see Aston Villa scoring in, but still Arsenal a top defense, and for me they have just changed so much the way they played, and they are currently the best defense in the league by expected data. So really well data to back Ramsdale up, and for a 5.0 Arsenal keeper, I just fully expect a clean sheet here as well. The clean sheet isn't that likely, but of course Aston Villa, they have been really poor recently in the poor run of form, and they have having trouble in their defense, and they just have problems everywhere in their team. So certainly a team to target, and I could expect a clean sheet from Arsenal. So Ramsdale, a great player to own. He's not the old Ramsdale like last year, getting bonus points, getting saves, but he will get you that clean sheet, and I'm really happy with that. Trent Alexander-Arnold to start off my defense, and we are gonna go to keep him probably until the wildcard. And I did had some doubts last week considering to sell him, but no doubts this week. He stays in the team, and no plans to sell him in the further games, the future games. So Newcastle at home. Now Newcastle, they drew to Man City, and they are the easiest team to play, especially when you go to Newcastle. But this game is at Anfield, and we know the atmosphere at Anfield is so good. The home advantage certainly could be in the favour of Liverpool. Trent Alexander-Arnold against Newcastle. Newcastle, their defense is solid, but their attack, I could say, is slightly not that good. Of course, they are a good attack, but not the greatest attack in the league. So certainly some clean sheets potential, and also some attacking returns potential for Liverpool. Of course, we have to remember Liverpool are top team, and Newcastle, they are still a mid-table team. They have improved, but they are not a team that aren't that tough to beat. They will concede goals, they will concede chances, and certainly a game to target. So Trent, he stays in my team, no plans to sell him. And next we have Robertson. We do double up with the Liverpool defense, but I will talk about my transfer plans later on, and potentially selling Robertson. So he did drop in price 6.9. We knew that last week, and with Newcastle coming up, I could look to sell him because the amount of money you get with him, and you could upgrade elsewhere, is one thing. But Newcastle, again, if I look to keep him, I really like this fixture because it isn't the worst fixture. And of course, Liverpool, you could say at the start they were in a bad run of form, but they have changed, and that 9-0 win is a boost of momentum for Liverpool. And now I have no doubts about Tsimikas starting. I think Tsimikas is a great player, but I feel like the first few game weeks you just want your best player starting for you, and I think Robertson will start this game. But just the thing is, the price for Robertson, he's priced at 7 mil, so technically a premium defender, and with the amount of money you could downgrade to a 5 mil, a 5.5 defender, and you can use the money to upgrade elsewhere. So that's the one thing, but still Robertson a great option, and if I choose to keep him, I'm really happy with him. Next, we have Joao Cancelo. Now, this fixture is another great fixture. Nottingham Forest at home. Nottingham Forest, we saw in that Spurs game how leaky they can be. They have been really poor defensively, and they could have conceded 3 goals against Spurs, could have conceded more. Leon Henderson, a great keeper, but still Nottingham Forest, their attack is just really shaky, and certainly a game to target. I fully expect Cancelo to get the clean sheet against Nottingham. It's a ideal fixture to get a clean sheet, and Nottingham, they have been poor defensively and attackingly. They look really weak, and certainly a team to target. So Cancelo, now currently he's a great option, but again, that price point 7.1, he's not that advanced like last season. Now with Erling Haaland joining the side, we could see a shift in tactics, and he's currently playing the inverted midfield role for City, so he's not that advanced like last season. He's technically played the same role as Kyle Walker, and if I can get Kyle Walker for 2 mil cheaper, I would take Kyle Walker because that money could be used to upgrade elsewhere. So currently, I could consider selling him, but this fixture is just the prime fixture to own him from. No plans to sell him currently, but certainly plans to sell him in the future game week. So Cancelo, Nottingham Forest, I just think the capability of the potential in this fixture is just so high. The ceiling is really high. If he gets the clean sheet, that's 6 points locked in. He's a bonus point machine. He could get 1 to 2, and then if he gets the attacking return, you are up for a double-digit haul. So certainly Cancelo, really happy with his performance currently. Just hoping he gets more advanced, and not that advanced like last season. So he isn't that advanced like last season, and certainly a player to sell. So currently he stays in my team, but there is, I could look to sell in the upcoming weeks. Next is Reece James, and now Southampton away. Southampton, they aren't they aren't that good of in form currently, and they have been average. They are not the best team, not the best attack, but not the best defense. They have been really poor this season, and we saw it against United. Of course, they did make it tough for United, but United did break their tactics and they did score. So Southampton, I fully expect Chelsea to win this game. It's just how much they win. They could win 4-0, they could win 1-0. And Chelsea's attacking players aren't just that good of a finisher because they aren't finishing their chances up front. And if you get, a good striker in the Chelsea team, we could see more goals from them. And Southampton, they have been really weak. And Reece James, with the signing of Wesley Fofana, I just think it's just a no-brainer that he starts at right wing back because we have Fofana there, Thiago Silva in the middle, and a left centre back spot for you could say Cucurella, who could play there, but of course Cucurella, he can play at left centre back and left wing back for Chelsea. But then you have players like Koulibaly, he's back for this game, and you won't spend that much money on Koulibaly just to bench him. So probably the ideal backline for Chelsea is Thiago Silva, Koulibaly, and Wesley Fofana. So that means Reece James could shift out wide as a right wing back, and when he plays at right wing back, he's just technically a right winger, and he gets so advanced that I could guarantee you a attacking return if he starts at right wing back. So if he starts at right wing back, it just looks like the best fixture, and no matter the team he's playing, he will be so good and so advanced if he's playing right wing back. So hopefully he plays there, and I think he will play there this week with the signing of Wesley Fofana. But of course, long-term wise, he will start there when Wesley Fofana comes into the team. So currently, really happy with Reece James, and just a prime fixture to target. And we're going to end the defense with Cucurella, another double up in defense. And Cucurella, again, we bought him in at 5 mil, expecting him to start at left wing back. And if he's not going to start there, we could say that he could start at left centre back. But with the signing of Wesley Fofana, I knew it before that Chelsea really wanted Wesley Fofana. If they go on and sign him, Cucurella would be a rotation risk. So with Chilwell, not that he's not played since the in game week 1. So he's got a couple of minutes, but not that much minutes. And we could see Cucurella starting at left wing back again because I just feel Chilwell's fitness isn't that great. We could see, Cucurella come out of the team, get subbed off in the 70-80 minutes and get Chilwell a run of minutes, and then we could see Chilwell slowly coming back in the team. But currently, I just expect Cucurella to stay in the team, and against Southampton, if he starts at left wing back, he will get into those great positions to score you points. So I'm really happy with Cucurella currently, but there is potential that he gets benched, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets benched in the upcoming weeks. But for this week, certainly, I think he will start this week because Wesley Fofana, he won't just get right into the team, and with Ben Chilwell fitness that low, I just again don't expect him to start this week. So a great fixture and a really high chance of him starting. And if he starts at left wing back, he will get those attacking returns. He's very dangerous up front, and really happy with Cucurella. Now starting off the midfield with Mohamed Salah against Newcastle. Look, it's a great fixture for Liverpool and a great fixture for Salah. For me, in my opinion, Salah is still one of the best FPL players, and we just can't, criticize him, judge him by one game week against Bournemouth. And they did score 9-0, and it just shows Liverpool what are they capable of. And with Darwin Núñez coming back into the team this week, we could see more with that. Darwin Núñez is suspended, so he won't be coming back in the team this week. But certainly Salah, he will look dangerous in up front. And some people are making theories that with this when Mane left, he's just not the same. Of course, Salah is Salah, and he will deliver. It's just when. And I feel like this fixture against Newcastle is a great fixture for Salah because his underlying data is still very good. His expected goals expected assists is still one of the best in the league, and so we can't just criticize him for that game, and he stays in the team. Not much to talk about him, but he's still a great option. Second, Martinelli, he just offers so great value, and if he starts up front for Arsenal at 6.4 mil, it's just such great value for a player like Martinelli. Aston Villa at home. Now, Aston Villa, I did say that they have been really poor defensively, and they have been really weak defensively this season. So again, another fixture for me, if I were to target for Arsenal, they are looking in such a great form, and currently with Arteta playing brilliant football, I just expect Martinelli to get a lot out of this game. Aston Villa at home now, of course, isn't that great of a fixture, but still Martinelli, he's still such a great option, and for me this fixture is a brilliant fixture to target. And lastly, Pascal Gross, Fulham away. He did wonders for me in game week 5, in game week 4 by scoring 11 points. And this week against Fulham, I just expect another, he's playing so advanced. He picked up so many great chances in that game. I just expect another attacking return for Pascal Gross. He's taking set pieces. He's getting up the pitch. He's getting those penalty, dangerous areas, and he will score you those points. So really happy with Pascal Gross. Now starting up in the front line, Erling Haaland, he's here to stay. No plans to sell him, especially against this fixture against Nottingham Forest. It's a prime fixture to target. They are so weak defensively. We could see a 6 or 5-0 battering from Man City, a really high scoring game, if played correctly, if it goes to plan for City. So Haaland, not much to say about him. He's a great option in my opinion. His data, so good. It's just his rotation minutes. And lastly, Gabriel Jesus. Brilliant value for money, 8.2. He just offers such great value, especially if you look at the options around him. Arsenal, as I said, they are in such great form. They are playing brilliant football under Arteta, and I just expect a lot from Gabriel Jesus. Moving on to the bench, we do have Ward. He's no plans to sell. He's a great backup, in case worst case scenario happens with Ramsdale. United, I just expect United to score in this game, and with the pricing this year, FPI is priced, and with the the pricing just makes us our transfers is not that valuable at the start, because we don't want to transfer anyone out of players, because we can just pick players from the top 6 teams. So even though if Ramsdale gets an injury, gets a suspension, could just use my transfer to transfer him elsewhere. So Ward, a great backup to have. Bailly, 4.8 mil. Again, I look to sell him, and I'll talk more about him later. But currently he sits first in my bench against Arsenal. He's not getting minutes in Steven Gerrard's side. He's coming out and coming in the team. So we just don't know, and I don't want to risk Bailly in this period of time with such great players in my first team. Andreas Pereira, Brighton at home. I will talk more about him, but he's a great bench option, and possibly could look to start him, but with everyone having such great fixtures, no place to start him. And Archer, a great backup, but I could look to move him on because I believe he is going out on loan in Belgium. So again, certainly want to transfer, a very boring transfer to make, but he's a great backup. And let's talk about captaincy real quick before my transfer plans. My captain is on Mohamed Salah currently, and the vice captaincy is on Gabriel Jesus. Now the problem is with Erling Haaland, I just think he will be rotational minutes. But if you read Pep's quote, he's saying every 3 days, if you're playing matches every 3 days, we will look to rotate Haaland, and Julian Alvarez will play. So that doesn't mean the fixture in between we will see Haaland get rested, the midweek fixture. It just means maybe we could see, when Champions League starts, we could see rotation. And for me, I look at it, if Champions League start, it just makes more sense to rest him in the game before the Champions League instead of playing him in that game against Aston Villa. So we could see him getting rested, we could see him getting minutes. But currently, if we hear a strong press conference from Pep saying that Haaland looks good, I could look to captain him. I certainly want to keep an eye for. And then Cancelo, another captaincy shout I could look, but Mohamed Salah gets my armband. Look, last season it just shows when we go without Salah, he will punish us, especially in the Man United game. But this season again, I just don't want to take the risk. Salah has the high potential to punish us if we don't go for him, and just playing safe with Salah at the start of the season. So this is my captaincy. Let's move on to my transfer plans. So this is my structure of my team. I'm just going to talk you guys through each player, and the red zone is players I'm looking to sell or even the last chance. The white zone, the yellow zone is players that possibly look to sell but still great options. The green zone, structure players, no plans to sell them. White, the bench. Now I didn't update the fixtures on this, I do apologize, but it's more about the player that I'm going to talk about. So ignore the fixtures. Robertson, now why he's on red is because he just, the price point of him 6.9, technically 7 mil. If I downgrade him to a 4.5 mil option, which has so many great options around that price point, I could get so many great players. And for 2 mil, 2 mil is saying I could upgrade a player like Liam Bailey up to a Harrison, a Rodrigo. So it entirely changes my team. So certainly want to look to sell Cucurella. When Wesley Fofana comes in, we could see him getting rotated, and with that 1 mil downgrade to a 4 mil defender, certainly that 1 mil could be spent elsewhere. But no plans to sell him currently, but certainly one last chance in my team. And in the yellow zone, look, Cancelo, if I'm thinking if Walker and Cancelo is playing the same role in the team, what's separating them is the price of 2 mil. And between that 2 mil, you're just getting more bonus points for Cancelo and potentially that hot attacking return. Now, of course, I might be crazy to say this, to sell Cancelo, but with that 2 mil again, it could be spent elsewhere and could bring in players. That 2 mil is like, you get an Archer compared to and Bumo, so that's a big upgrade, and Cancelo certainly one on my watch list to sell. Ramsdale, Fulham at home. Ramsdale again, now another player I look to sell just because of that money, because you could get 0.5 more cheaper for Sanchez, and Sanchez will get you those save points, and he will get you that clean sheet as well. So Ramsdale not making as much saves as I expected him to do, so certainly want to look to sell. And then Haaland, again, with Pep what he's saying, we could see rotation come in, but still no plans to sell him currently. And then the green zone, there are no plans to sell. They are a great option and probably keep them until my wildcard, unless injury comes. The white zone, just my bench, not much to talk about there, not much interest there. So let's move on to my watch list for game ahead of game week 5. This is my watch list ahead of game week 5, and I've took some players out last week and added some players. So let's talk about the defenders first. And Nico Williams is there just because of his price, 4.1. Downgrade Robertson to him, get 3 mil, and could look to upgrade elsewhere. Saliba is here just because he's 4.6 mil. Arsenal defender who's looked fairly nailed on. It's just a cheap way to go into top 6 defense, and certainly want to keep an eye for. Dunk and Estupinan. So I think that's how you pronounce his name. Estupinan, he has the more attacking threat, and his expected goal involvement is quite high amongst the defenders. I think it's the top 10 or top 15. His data is quite good. Of course, it's a low sample size, but I could expect him to get a lot of returns in the upcoming weeks because his data is playing as a left wing back. Could this be the second Cucurella? And for 4.5 mil, he will offer great value if he starts. Now there is potential of him getting rotated, I understand, but for 4.5, what do you expect? And then Dunk, he's just that nail on Brighton defender who can get you those bonus points. And then Emerson, 4 mil, he moved to West Ham. He's playing left wing back. So again, another one to keep an eye for. And Fofana made his move to Chelsea. If I want to downgrade Cucurella, if I have nothing to do with my FPL team and I have 2 free transfers, I could look to downgrade Cucurella to a Fofana, Emerson, or Williams. He moved to Chelsea, 4.4, could again come in at great value. Now my midfielders, Harrison and Rodrigo. I really want one of these in my team, and I really think I will make a move for one of these. Now, I prefer Rodrigo for his underlying data, but Harrison is that differential. So, currently preferring Rodrigo, but I just think I wouldn't be surprised if I went for Harrison come the deadline. So, both look great. Of course, Rodrigo's data look way better, but Harrison has the better expected assist data, but both look great. And if Bamford comes back in the team, Rodrigo will take penalties taken off him, so that could be in favor of Harrison. So currently, this is my watch list. And then let's move on to the forwards here. Kane, Tony, Stansford, Phil, and Johnson. Now Johnson, between game week 6 onwards, Nottingham Forest do have really good fixtures, and to be fair, in fairness, I do prefer their attack over their defense. They play Bournemouth, Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Aston Villa, and onwards, and it's just a great run before my wildcard. So certainly one to keep an eye for. And if he gets great underlying data, I could move for him. Stanfield, you know, if I want a side grade Archer, I could look to him. He got some minutes in game week 4 and game week 3 and game week 2, so certainly one to keep an eye for. And then Tony, he hit the post and certainly could have got way more of that game. A really dangerous player, could look for him. And then Harry Kane, you know, if Kane, I don't really like Haaland and we could see him getting rested, I could go for Kane. But it's just a watch list. Let's move on to the team currently. So if with all the transfers made, this is my team I'm planning to, you know, go into game week 5. Now, my transfer would be Espinan and Rodrigo in for Leon Bailey and Robertson, and I'm really happy. Now, one thing, I prefer Espinan to Nico Williams, and you know why? You could ask me why just take that 0.5 and, you know, keep it just in case. It's just because if Cucurella falls out of the Chelsea team, Espinan could come in, and if, you know, especially in a mid-week fixture, we could see a lot of rotation. You know, we could see Haaland getting rotated, we could see James, Cucurella, even. So these players could get rotated. It's just great to have great cover on your bench. And Espinan I could look to start him in the upcoming weeks as well. So he's great underlying data, great fixtures, certainly really happy with his price, and certainly one to keep an eye for. So this is the team. A lot could change, and I did change the captaincy around here because currently with Haaland, I prefer him. I did make a mistake with the editing with Jesus as the vice, so currently prefer Haaland. But of course, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, if I went for Cancelo, a Salah, even a Haaland. So I could change around. And again, Rodrigo could be Harrison. It could be Rodrigo. So this is the team ahead of game week 4, the selection. Game week 5 team selection. I won't be making a buy, hold, sell, avoid video because the time is just so limited, and I do have things to do elsewhere. So this is the team for game week 5. It's not locked in, just keep in note. I could change if we get some news. It's been me, Jess FPL, and I'll see you guys in the next one.